Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the MCW Tensions Rising post-show wrap-up. We are currently on our way to Clash of the Titans on the 28th of April in the Thornbury Theatre. But before we got there, we had to get through a lot of obstacles here tonight, so let's go through it.
The night started with an interruption by Adam Brooks, the #1 contender for the MCW Heavyweight Championship. He made it very clear, focusing that Dowie James has never pinned him and never submitted him. It was then our champion, Dowie James, that would come out, adding a stipulation that at Clash of the Titans, it would be an Iron Man match, a 30-minute Iron Man match between James and Brooks for the MCW Heavyweight Championship.
Up next would be a rematch from Ascension when Mike Burr, good time trouble himself, would get his opportunity to rematch against Josh the Axe Shooter. Now, it was a brutal, hard-hitting match, but you have to admit, Burr was distracted because joining us at the commentary desk would be Fun Time Phil. However, Fun Time Phil would have his uses. When Josh the Axe Shooter would actually go to grab a chair, Fun Time Phil would intervene. But unfortunately, after Shooter assaulted Fun Time Phil, Josh Shooter would go on and get disqualified after smashing the chair across the back of Mike's head. And on that note, I would like to bring to the post-show Mike Burr. Now, obviously, sir, I would like to say congratulations. You were technically victorious, but obviously it wasn't without controversy, and it was only via a disqualification. I mean, how are you feeling about tonight's match?
You know, how I'm feeling, I'm all over the place, to be honest, Andy. The bottom line is win or lose. That's not what I'm thinking about right now. What I'm thinking about is the way Josh seems to continue to belittle me, to berate me, to say I'm washed up and I'm done. And you know what? I'm at a crossroad, and maybe he's right. I'm at that point in my time that maybe I'm becoming the joke of MCW. I mean, Phil feels the need to call me his best mate, but for some reason, 2 shows in a row now, his help has cost me a victory. It's cost me a moral victory. I mean, come on. There's only so much I can take. And at the end of the day, Shooter's right. 5 years ago, I would have seen that chair shot coming. 5 years ago, Mike Burr would have delivered that chair shot. But right now, it's just a matter of do I keep going or it's time to hang up the boots. And right now, I'm thinking the later. I'm sorry, Andy, I've got to go.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Mike! Wait up! Tonight at Tensions Rising, we had 2 qualifying matches for the Vera and Jenny Memorial Cup. To win that cup means you are the best at what you do. And tonight, we saw first Jessica Troy taking on Kellyanne, one of the biggest ass kickers in this country. And history was to repeat itself because it was Kellyanne beating Jessica Troy with a cannonball to advance in the tournament tonight.
Then, later in the evening, we would see Evie make her glorious return here to MCW. Evie would have to get through Avery, and the Brat Pack were not beyond interfering in this contest. But thankfully, Evie hitting that massive double stomp from the top rope, getting the 1, 2, 3. And so it is set. At Clash of the Titans, a rematch in the Thornbury Theatre when Evie takes on Kellyanne. And this time, it's going to be for the Vera and Jenny Memorial Cup.
Tonight we saw JXT throw down an open challenge, the JXT Inter-Commonwealth Championship Sesh. Well, tonight, I thought at one stage he bit off more than he can chew, because the man that was going to accept was Brady Pierce.
And although it looked like that Pierce was indeed going to be victorious and win the Inter-Commonwealth Championship, it was JXT looking for any opportunity he could find, and he found it, hitting the retweet and getting the 1, 2, 3.
At Clash of the Titans at Thornbury Theatre, we will see a match for the Tag Team Championships, as we'll see Preston and Payne take on the world's friendliest bastards, Crackerjack and Lockie Hendricks. Tonight, in that very ring, we made it official. We saw the contract signing, but there was a couple of added stipulations.
Yeah, very interesting stipulations. First up, the tag team titles will be defended in a ladder match. But that's not all. There was one other stipulation deep within the fine print that said that if the world's friendliest bastards lose, then Lockie Hendricks will become the protege of one Preston.
There has been a war brewing between Jake Andrew Arthur and Ali. They were put together, and there was a stipulation. If Ali and Andrew Arthur were not victorious and couldn't coexist, they would be fired from MCW. Tonight, Andrew Arthur and Ali took off the team of the Suplex Machine, Gabriel Wolf, and Slade Mercer.
Ali and Jake Andrew Arthur had to find a miracle to work together. They actually somehow found a way to cooperate. And when you've got the power of Jake Andrew Arthur and the power of Ali together, we actually could be looking at one of the most dominant teams in Australian wrestling history.
Tonight's main event would be a tag team match with Adam Brooks teaming up with Elliot Sexton against Mr. Juicy and Dowie James. Elliot Sexton's music would hit. He would come to the ramp with a beaten Mr. Juicy on the rampway.
But he wouldn't stop there. He would actually take the monitor from our commentary desk and he would smash it into the face of Mr. Juicy. And Dowie James would come out to check on the state of Mr. Juicy. And Dowie James demanded that tonight's main event would be a 2-on-1 handicap match.
We've seen Dowie James with the odds stacked against him, but never like this, Andy. Unfortunately tonight, 2 versus 1 was just too much for Dowie James. Adam Brooks once again pinning our champion.
After that, all hell broke loose. Mr. Juicy returned from seeking medical attention in the back to continue his brutal fight with Elliot Sexton. And immediately, Dowie James also jumped on his challenger. It didn't just take security, it took half of the locker room to actually separate the 4 men. Juicy even took a shot at Dowie James. All this tension, all this pride, all this fury, and it all comes down to the Melbourne City Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. The question is, with 3 challengers clipping on the heels of Dowie James, and with Dowie James having to defend it against Adam Brooks at Clash of the Titans, how long will Dowie James remain as our heavyweight champion?
On behalf of everyone from MCW, I'm Travis Houston, this is Lord Andy Coyne, and that is the MCW 10...
And this is Adam Brooks, the next MCW champion. Now, Andy Coyne, what a night. What happened once again in the middle of that ring?
You pinned Dowie James.
That I did. And April 28th at the Clash of the Titans, I'll be walking into Thornbury Theatre and then I'll be leaving with Dowie's MCW championship while he lays in the middle of the ring. And he can probably, actually, you should get in that ring and he can sob on your shoulder. Get around me, fellas.